Teen Grind, how you living? It's the kid Dre the Kid, and I am back with another video. You know what I'm saying? Try to stay intact, with the Dre Tober thing, But you find my channel first time, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share my social medias. All my social media be in the description below. Hey yo, help me get monetized by October 26th. That's what this whole Dre Tober thing about. Cause my birthday is October 26th. So I'm trying to stay consistent with the videos, and I'm trying to get, as many views, new subscribers coming to, by the time the day is up. And like I said, if you could donate to the channel, that'd be great. If not, just hit the like button, just hit the subscribe button, share the video, and help your boy get monetized by the time his birthday roll around. So today I didn't really have a straight topic that I really want to talk about, because, well, I will say, like, as of right now, it's kind of is a bit quiet. It is, but it ain't. And this is a topic I've thought about speaking on, but I kind of stayed away from it, and that because, like, so many YouTubers I watch, they do an excellent, job of breaking it down, from guys like Aber and Preach, from the Birdman to Jew Almighty to my boy Machiavelli Mills. Like, all these guys do a great job at breaking down grifters on YouTube. And the thing about it, like, how you come across these guys, and sometimes it's just by a complete accident. And I'll hold myself accountable, to this whole grifter thing a little bit, because I admit this, back, in my earlier days, I was part of the go along, get along gang that these grifters, pretty much descend from, the buck dancing. I'm not gonna lie, back in, especially like my younger years, I did some little buck dancing, and also I was also on the red pill content, and also on the red pill content. I'm not proud of myself. If I could, I wish I didn't go down that route. Only thing I can say is I can try to do better as a man. I have done better as a black man. And I just glad I was able to resurface, to the point, I was able to resurface and come back up. I didn't double down, triple down, and I didn't go so far down and deep into it, like the Fresh and Feds, like the Stevie Nice, like the No Shack Life, like the Cartier family. I can at least say I didn't go as far down as they did into that whole thing. But anyway, though, the way I came across this, because you're on YouTube sometimes, you looking at random videos, you're into the nerd space, you come across these stuff. And I say the way I came across, the red pill community, was about, complete accident. That, these guys saying, how unfair the dating market is, and to a certain extent, the unfair the dating market is like all across the board, not just unfair for men, it's unfair for women too. And the thing about it, as a guy, it sounds like they're saying good stuff until you actually listen to them and actually do some details, and you actually do some digging dirt on these dudes. And you say these dudes say everything is black women's fault, it's just women's fault in general. First they just say women, then they'll go down to black women, then they'll go down into the black community. When they got to that it's black women's fault, that's when I'm like, wait, hold up, no, that's not true. Men do wrong, women do wrong, but to try to say it's all women's fault, like, that's not true. And I'm glad when I noticed they was getting to that point, I'm glad I was able to come up like, okay, like, these dudes is tripping. Let me get off this. Let me go ahead and cleanse myself of this. I'm glad I cleansed myself of it, and I'm glad I jumped off that shift before it even sunk. But and let me get on to the grifting. And for those who don't know, I'm a nerd. I like anime. I don't read comic books as much as I used to, but I like comic books. I like superhero movies and stuff like that. And how I got introduced to the grift on YouTube is these channels like Geeks and Gamers, Young Ripper complaining about black representation, LGBTQ representation, and all that, saying it's woke, which is the term woke they use is a bastardized version of the word woke. But basically, like they claim like, oh, it's an attack on white men, which it's not. It's just other characters getting representation, and they don't like that. So that's how I got exposed to it. They always say like, oh well, we're not racist. If a black original character were to get a spotlight, we'll have no problem with it. We just don't like when white characters get turned black. That's just what we don't like. This is where it got, well, fast forward to what's the name of the game? I'm sorry, but it escaped me right now. But the game with the black samurai, Yasuke. But when that game came out, I cannot remember the name. Assassin's Creed, yes. Assassin's Creed with Yasuke. Where the game featured Yasuke, bro, the amount of grifters, this way it really got. I already knew that these grifters were just talking a whole bunch of BS, but this way it got real obvious to me. This was, it was just out the front door with it. When Yasuke was pretty much as the lead role in Assassin's Creed, they came out and Joe talked about, well, Yasuke isn't a real character. He, this is like real Japanese lore. This is upsetting to Japanese culture. Like, y'all like, skirt. I thought y'all said y'all didn't mind an actual black character getting lead, as long as the black character was actually a real black character. Didn't y'all say that? And that's when the whole thing got blown up. That's when they really got exposed. They tried to walk it back and said, no, it's because of this, that, and the third. And like I said, shout out to the Birdman. The Birdman expertly just broke it down. And I'm gonna pick it back off that because the black conservatives on the internet feel the same way that the white conservatives feel on the internet. They every time black person talk about racism, they call it woke. Like I said, woke, the way they use it is a bastardized version of the word. It's not what the word woke really means in the way that they say it. But these dudes start exposing themselves. They start getting venturing from music reaction videos into the political topics. Then when they get on the political topics, they start listening to people like the Charlie Kirks. They start listening to the Tom McDonalds. They start listening to the Ben Shapiro's, Prague U, and all this other junk. They say, ooh, that's true. That we do that. And like I said, if you're a black person saying and agreeing with all these negative stereotypes that it's not true on us, man, shame on you, man. And you doing all this because you want to try to gain an audience that don't like you at that. They're just using you as puppet on the string, to push their own propaganda, to say that they're not offensive. And like I said, I could go in details about these YouTubers, but like I said, there's other YouTubers out there who do a way better job and just breaking these dudes down. I've already said their names in the video. This is just me like getting my thoughts on it. And my thoughts is like, I'm glad that the day of the grifters is about to end. I'm glad the red pill community is at an end. Now I'm glad all these black YouTubers and all these black YouTubers are banding together and getting these dudes up out of here. Oh yeah, Angry Man is another one. The way he got smoked by Destiny, it was crazy. But like I said, I'm glad they getting up out of here. I'm glad it's the end of the Grifters. That's the end of the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share this on your social medias. Remember, LC's Grind is an underground takeover, man. Let's get it.